Well, hello. The video title for the 30th of September is Keeping the Dream Alive. Since childhood, I have dreamed of a better world. To me, it was the kingdom of heaven on earth. Like the rest of humanity, I had to witness and endure nightmare after nightmare as I saw criminals in the highest positions of so-called power. The biggest liars, murderers, and charlatans ran our system in every aspect possible. Visionaries were ridiculed. Some were incarcerated or killed, and some, like me, even had their homes stolen. Despite all this, many did our best to share our dream and vision of a better world where justice had actual meaning and was not just a falsified cliché. Is this dream about to have tangible steps taken towards becoming a reality? We'll see. Perhaps the USA will become a republic again and bring the vision of our forefathers into reality. I wrote that blurb a few days ago for a video at that time, but I kept making putting other things up instead. So it's been pushed back. I think at least 3 times I've had to push it back. But I'm finally recording the video that I wrote, as I said, a few days back. Keeping the dream alive is a challenge for all of us who are visionaries, for all of us who long for a better world, one where there really is truth and justice and freedom. That's not the world we live in, folks. If you haven't noticed, the world we live in is everything the opposite of that. Everything has been inverted and turned on its head and inside out and upside down. And we live in a world that is, yes, we can find peace momentarily. We can. And many of us do through our meditations and our prayer time and our spiritual devotion, etc. We do find peace in the moment. But my vision has never simply been to be able to find peace in the moment. That's inadequate. That is not fulfillment of the vision that I've had, nor of the promises as I've understood them to establish the kingdom of heaven. Not somewhere in some mystical community in the sky, but here on earth, tangibly. And I've expected that, longed for that, worked for that my entire life. That's why I've done the things that I've done, because since I was a little boy, I had that vision. Now, a lot of people don't like the fact that I don't adhere to Christianity, for example, as being the true religion, because it's not. It's been tampered with, the same as Judaism, the same as Buddhism, the same as Hinduism, the same as Islam. All the 5 major religions and many minor ones have been tampered with. And even the Native American spiritual concepts that are held by some of the tribes, not all of the tribes, it's not universal. But even those concepts have been distorted and watered down. We've had control on this planet for millennia, not just a few hundred years, but for millennia, we've had control by less than honorable beings who seem to have a need to feed off of our energy because they don't have enough energy for themselves, so they rape and they pillage and they steal and they create anxiety in others because that somehow it feeds their psyche or feeds even their metabolism or whatever you want to say. Somehow they seem to want to derive benefit from the suffering of others. And so they create as much suffering as they can. And of course, in our generation, it has accelerated, and because of the media, more and more people know about it, which creates a lot of fear, but it also creates opportunity for people to wake up. And many are waking up, which is a reverse effect than the powers that want to stay in control intended. They wanted to create fear so much that we would beg them for their solution, which is a one world government that rules over things, and population, depopulation of the world, bringing the population down to a manageable 500 million people instead of 7 to 7.5 billion people on the planet. They were willing to murder or eliminate through various means a vast majority of human population. And this is their vision. Folks, wake up. Wake up. These are not people that have good intentions. These are demons. These are devils. These are human beings who have sold their soul to evil forces. Many of them might even be somehow hybrids between the dark entities and humanity. I don't know, but I do read that they are trying to create a different humanity that is more obedient and more placid. That's why they create the chemtrails in the sky, and why they put all sorts of poisons in our medicines, and why they do everything to try to thwart the spiritual awakening and keep us from attaining the kingdom of heaven on earth, which is the promised vision, the promised reality, I should say. And we have the vision of that being materialized. Now, some have said, well, that's not going to happen for 600 years or whatever long period of time. Others keep putting it off into some future time. Now is the time. Yeah, they've messed with the calendar. I know that. I know that the calendar that we see is not the reality because they've messed with it. I mean, if you look at the concept of calendar in our modern age, there's been 2,100 years since Jesus was on earth. And before that, there might have been 4,000 more years. So they're looking at a 6,000-year window, and the earth is much older than that, folks. Much older than that. Civilization after civilization has come and gone. And we still, after 10 millennia or whatever, we still do not see the manifestation worldwide of the kingdom of heaven on earth. We still don't see that. But that's the dream that keeps me alive. That's the dream that keeps me going and making videos day after day. Oh, I didn't think it was going to take this long. I really thought it was going to happen in 2011, and it didn't. I thought it would be 2012. It wasn't. And here it is, 2016, and we're about to have another election. And there are friends of mine that say, Ron, it's not going to happen. It's not going to either be Trump or Hillary. It's going to be an interim government put in place. The republic is being restored. China is holding out for it. Russia is providing the military support. China, the economic support for this new world order. China just wants to be able to keep everything going and continue to get rich, and they do not want to see the default of the United States or the downfall of the United States, because we are we are probably their biggest source of income, and they don't want to have that stop. So they want to create a system too that allows Americans to prosper, because if we don't prosper, they don't prosper either. And the people that run the world don't care about anybody prospering, because they're just leeches that leech off the life force of other beings, because they don't have any life force that they're able to sustain, apparently, without cannibalizing other beings. This whole mentality, this whole reality of living situations has to change. And as I said, these are beings that need to be incarcerated on a planet as far away from the Milky Way as is possible, until they have a chance to wake up and realize that the world that they want to build is an impossible world. It's built on lies, and nothing can be sustained forever built on lies. Anyway, I want to keep the dream alive, and I hope many of you do as well. And thank you for listening. Namaste.